got a guy second-hand sex swing?
I'm sorry, Amy.
I forgot that it was coming back to me.
All right, John Elliott.
Cody doesn't own a mirror.
John Elliott.
Oh my God. My face hurts.
Hey, you better come up with something.
Alright, so, I was getting nervous on the way in, coming up to do this, so I looked at my wife and I said, what if we have another kid? So whether I nail it or bomb it, doesn't matter, I'm having a fight tonight anyway. So,
Have another beer.
I've known Josh for 5 years. It doesn't matter when you know where it's going, alright? So we're good. This doesn't matter.
We're on the
This is
downhill
highlight of the
slide.
night. No, I've known Josh for about 5 years. I was his bail bondsman for his second charge. He was trying to infuse Cool Ranch into chickens. It was a mess. The best was the bourbon-infused turkey. They couldn't make that one stick because we know he just wanted to see what a Thanksgiving turkey would do drunk off its ass. But no, I've worked with Josh for 5 years. I say worked with because, as we've all pointed out, he's worked with the Scouts harder than he ever did for the Navy. Oftentimes, while he was supposed to be working for the Navy. So most of my stories with Josh will be about Scouts, and there's some good ones. Josh is the porta potty king of the Big Hatchie district. There was the time he borrowed Ryan's car at camp and wrecked it. And then there's multiple stories about Josh with varying levels of intestinal distress, which, side note, is not how he became the porta potty king of the Big Hatchie district. Y'all, that's 4 counties. We are in the presence of greatness. But with Scouts, I'd like to start at the beginning of my journey with Josh. Josh came in and he was going to be the pack leader at Atoka Pack 60. I'd been there for a few years. He was going to be the leader. He asked if I could come over and, we talked about things for a little bit. I came over and they were fresh off the boat. He was wearing a sleeveless shirt, cargo shorts, and he was sunburnt from head to toe. He had his pit viper raccoon eyes. This man was windburnt, sunburnt. He was nuclear. He was just glowing. And we're talking, and as we go through, I didn't realize it, but at a different point, he was then wearing a blue wife beater. I never saw him change shirts. It's just like he wanted to wear his nicer one. Like, he was like, wait, this isn't the first impression I want to make, and changed it into a wife beater. But at the end of this conversation, he kind of looks at me and he does the Josh thing, where he like drops his head and he puts his hand up. He's like, I'm an Indian. And I'm like, wow. What a racist joke. This is the first time I'm meeting this man, and he's like sunburned going, I'm a redskin. And I'm like, I cannot wait to see how he molds these young minds.
We're here to prevent that.
But if you know Josh, he keeps going back to that joke. He keeps going to that well. A few weeks later, he's like, I'm an Indian. And it's like, are you from Cleveland? Like, are you this proud of that? A few months later, I'm an Indian. And I'm like, Josh, just because you are conceived in a Jeep does not make you a Jew.
Chevelle.
Amen. medical board. You don't have to lie to me to get a scholarship, Josh. It doesn't matter. I don't know how long it takes for Josh to tell that same joke for you to finally realize he is Indian. I've met his dad this weekend. He has Native American heritage. He has stories on the reservation. He is an Indian. Which is really cool, because now I get to say I have an Indian friend. It doesn't get you out of a lot of social situations, but it didn't stop me from putting it on my LinkedIn. Now, I never pried into it. I didn't want to go into it. Let's be honest, I didn't really care that much. I don't know how Josh became the white sheep of his family. I just like to imagine it's like some biblical story, like finding the baby Moses. Like one day his dad was walking home and he heard this low, rough, cynical cry of a child. And he followed the cry to a hollowed out natty light box. And there is this pre-sunburnt. Maybe he's ginger in the right light? Child wrapped in swaddled in a Seahawks jersey. And he picked him up and he said, I will love this child. I will take him home and I will raise him to be a good man and a below average soccer coach. And that is the story of how we know Josh. But I mean, look at him. Nobody believes he's Indian. Josh, you are the kind of white that looks like you know how to chew tobacco in a bologna sandwich at the same time. Josh, you look like a holiday promotional Santa who's here to talk to us about the dangers of painkillers. Josh is the kind of guy that has a favorite wife beater. This is who he is. But Josh, you've always been a good friend. You've always been a good man. You have a loving wife. You have wonderful kids. Whatever you're doing, man, you're doing it right. Congratulations.
Try to follow that shit up. Alright. Well, now it's time for open mic night. So if we have any brave people that would actually like to follow John, not this guy, let's keep the party going before the lady of the hour freaking brings us home. So mic's open to anybody who wants the floor.
Josh, you're jealous.
Oh, not yet.
No volunteering. Travis, are you volunteering?
I'm scared.